8 million shillings per county, but you can see the effect of that money on the ground. How then do we allow those amendments that are coming to take away money from GAF to give it to governors? It will be injustice not to the women leaders, but to the people of Kenya who are depending on their mothers and their sisters in GAF to take care of them in terms of bursaries and social protection funds, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I don't need to re-emphasize that we never see the value of money that is going to counties across the country, without exception, Honorable Speaker. I know there are some counties like Homa Bay where we can see good work being done. I know there are counties like Nakuru where we can see good work being done. And there are counties that are messy, Honorable Speaker. There are counties where the Auditor General is telling you, my county in Kiambu, close to R1 billion shillings on roads has gone to waste. Close to another 100 million shillings that was being given as fertilizer and chicks, Honorable Speaker, has been stolen, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I don't just say this to support women governors, but I can say without any fear of contradiction, our women leaders are doing a great job as governors, and I would urge Kenyans to continue supporting our women leaders. These are great leaders, Honorable Speaker.
You, Honorable Majority Leader, are you done? Okay. Honorable Junet.
Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I stand to support the amendments of the Senate, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let's be honest. And let us be honest to ourselves, and let us be honest to Kenyans, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, some of these counties that you are seeing in this country have seen R1 billion shillings for the first time in their lives after devolution, Madam Speaker. We shall not be used as a house to kill devolution, Madam Speaker. We must stand up, because that is the only way we are going to save devolution, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as you are aware, the Senate has only asked for an increment. They have never said we remove the money from NGCDF. They never said we remove from fuel levy. They never said, Madam Speaker. There are devolved functions that are being held here in Nairobi, like the health functions, like agriculture functions. Why are you keeping those monies in Nairobi here? Why don't you send those monies to the counties, Madam Speaker? That is why we have people eating now fertilizer money in this country, Madam Speaker. Why can't you send those monies to the counties? Madam Speaker, what I am saying, if Osoro might want to know what I am saying, is that we must send more money to the counties. If you want to deal with corruption at the counties, deal with corruption. Jail governors, jail chief officers, and all kinds of people. But you cannot deny the people of Kenya who live in counties money in the pretext of corruption, Madam Speaker. There is more corruption in national government than in the counties, and nobody speaks about it, Madam Speaker. 90% of our resources remain in the national government. It doesn't remain in the counties. We are devolving less than 15% to counties, and we magnify the corruption there as though that is the only money that is in Kenya, Madam Speaker. Monies are in Nairobi. Monies are in ministries. Monies are in PSS and ministers here. That is why we are dealing with issues of fertilizer today, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to urge this House. Let us not be used as a house to kill devolution. What is going to bring life to this country? What is going to develop this country? What is going to make this country a first world country, Madam Speaker, is devolution. That is how Germany developed, that is how France developed, and that is how all democracies developed, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to say this.
Hello.
Madam Speaker, I hope, Madam Speaker, let me conclude by saying that you cannot add 6 billion shillings.
Honorable Junet, take your seat. Honorable McClap, what is out of order? And let's get the IT department work on the sound. Honorable McClap.
Madam Speaker, I think we've had enough debate on this matter, and we can call the mover to reply. Because, Madam Speaker, this matter is as good as done, Madam Speaker, and we can invoke Article 95 and call the mover to reply.
I will let Honorable Junet finish.
Madam Speaker, it will be sad, Honorable Makilap, who was a former Speaker of Baringo County, can be used to derail devolution in this country. But Madam Speaker, we are dealing with a budget of 3.9 trillion, almost 4 trillion. And we are giving counties only 396 billion, Madam Speaker. And we have added this year, this financial year, only 6 billion shillings, Madam Speaker. If you divide 6 billion shillings by 47 counties, every county is going to get 30 million shillings. What kind of money is that? What kind of money is that? Is that enough for to develop this country? Madam Speaker, let us be honest to each other. If we want to develop this country, we must devolve funds. If there are issues of corruption, we must deal with them. We cannot use corruption to stifle devolution, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, look at what's happening to devolution. Since the inception 2013, the devolution is struggling to get their required amount of money. Madam Speaker, in this House, when we are dealing with the devolution, with the division of revenue, we are supposed to divide this money vertically first between counties and national government, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, if you hate your governor, that is your own problem. You can go and sort out your issues at home.
You are totally out of order. Totally. Out of order. Honorable Junet, wind up.
Madam Speaker, I want to tell Honorable Osoro, if you hate your governor, you can go and sort out your problems at home. If you want to run for governor, it's up to you. If you want to run for MCA, it's up to you. But the fact of the matter is, the only monies that Kenyans are enjoying is the money that goes to devolution, Madam Speaker. No other money is on the ground. And the NGCDF, those two monies, county governments and CDF money, that is all, Madam Speaker. All the other monies are in the hands of people like Linturi. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, in my own evaluation, I see there are still some interested members to speak on this motion. So I will not put the question. I will give 2 people from my right, and I will give another 2 on my left. If there is more, we will continue for a while. Honorable Mukunji, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me start by saying I rise to reject in totality, Honorable Speaker, the Division of Revenue Bill as it has come from Senate. Honorable Speaker, I want to first correct Honorable Member Junet that in his constituency he doesn't have to do work for him to be elected. He just have to say the name of a person I don't want to mention. Honorable Speaker, the Constitution of Kenya says that you only have, by constitution, to give 15% of the revenue to the county government, Honorable Speaker. This year, Honorable Speaker, we have actually added from last year from 375 billion to 391 billion, Honorable Speaker, to the county governments. Honorable Speaker, many people will agree with me that the money that goes to the county is invisible compared to any other resources that come through GAF, NGCDF, and Honorable Speaker, money that is actually appropriated through KERA, Honorable Speaker. And it is unfair to continue adding these monies without seeing results, Honorable Speaker. I want to say that, Honorable Speaker, we need to actually encourage conditional grants to county governments more than giving them a budget line that is going, Honorable Speaker, to be going to their pockets and actually to salaries and remuneration and entertainment for our governors, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we actually need to empower NGCDF and other funds, Honorable Speaker, because, Honorable Speaker, what we have done in this country in the name of devolution is created semi-gods and people who actually enrich themselves without the thought of our people that require resources and work to be done. Honorable Speaker, while we are discussing this, it is important for this House to critically think about empowering our county assemblies. These are people who have actually been given few coins, and we need to actually ensure what fund and their own autonomy is maintained. so that, Honorable Speaker, we don't create people who can run away with the whole budget and without even thinking twice, Honorable Speaker, they can only be sought after they have done with their term. Honorable Speaker, I was reading the paper yesterday and I saw a whole page full of faces of former governors in very unscrupulous way, Honorable Speaker, having acquired monies and they are under investigations. It is critical for this House to think of how and what works is what is supposed to be empowered. What doesn't work, Honorable Speaker, is not supposed to be empowered. Honorable Speaker, as the chairman of Kenya Young Parliamentarians, I want to reject in totality the bill, and we need to go to mediation so that we can give governors what is supposed to be given to them. Honorable Speaker, I reject. Thank you.
Minority Leader.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. And I want to join my colleagues in supporting the motion. And the Honorable Speaker, from the outset, I want to say that I agree in totality with the Senate in their proposed amendments to the division of revenue bill. Honorable Speaker, let me say this, and you know, the Honorable Chairman of Budget is a noble man and a very good student of economics and finance. What the Senate amendments are saying in very simple and layman language is that in our own calculations, the counties need much more than what you have allocated them. That increase these monies from 396 billion to 415 billion shillings. The Senate is not telling us that remove money from energy CDF, remove money from road maintenance levy, whatever. The Senate is simply saying that the counties require much more than you have given them. So it is incumbent upon us that to look round in a budget of 3.9 trillion Kenya shillings, to look around and find out where can we get these extra monies and reallocate to the counties. That is the plain, simple language that the Senate is actually communicating. Honorable Speaker, I am one of those people who would be totally opposed to removing money from energy CDF. I am also one of those people who will be totally opposed to interfering with the road maintenance levy fund. Honorable Speaker, we know that the counties are dealing with very, very critical functions that go to the heart of the common person at the grassroots. The counties are in charge of agriculture. The counties are in charge of health. The counties are in charge of water. The counties are in charge of social services. The counties are in charge of rural roads and all those other functions that are critical. What has happened in this country in the past that we must deal with, that we must confront, is the fact that we were able to devolve functions. We were able to divide these functions without actually doing proper costing of the functions. The end result is that counties have been given functions which they are unable to perform, Honorable Speaker. Counties have been given functions without the requisite funds to manage those functions. It is a duty, it is a historic duty of this House to right those wrongs. The only way to right those wrongs is to be reasonable, is to be sensible, is to address these issues objectively. Honorable Speaker, my own layman mind tells me that even the 415 billion that the senators are proposing could still be way below what the county governments need. Honorable Speaker, in the fullness of time, we might actually find that the county governments require much more money. Honorable Speaker, I'll be proposing that after this current budget cycle, we agree as a House to perhaps constitute a select committee, a special committee, to look at this whole aspect, this whole issue of functions and their costing. Honorable Speaker, unless we do that, we shall continue to starve counties of the monies they need to implement, to perform the functions that they have been accorded, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, this is a no-brainer. I want to plead to my colleagues to support this motion and endorse the amendments as proposed by the Senate. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, you'll give me some time. I said I'll give 2 from my right and 2 from my left. I have given 1 each. I'll now give the majority whip.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think it's important for us not to engage ourselves in populism politics when we are discussing very, very serious matters. We all live in this country, Honorable Speaker. NGCDF has been in existence for over 20 years. Yeah, for about 20 years, Honorable Speaker. Devolution in this country came into place in 2013. But you can hardly show what devolution or county governments have done compared to what NGCDF does. Honorable Speaker, it's important for us to also to be very factual. Some of these governors that we are defending so much, that we are or county governments that we are defending to have a lot of money, cannot even spend the amount, cannot even spend the entire amount whenever they get it. We are getting into the closure of the financial year, but you'll realize that some governors have not even spent a quarter of the amounts that they got when the financial year started. I mean, really, here we are debating on how we can be able to add them more funds for roads. When we all live in this country that governors do not even do roads, or the county governments are not working. We are telling them, this House, if we allow the proposal by the Senate on the division of revenue bill, Honorable Speaker, it will then mean that the amounts that we place for the 22% that is under the control of the members of parliament should be managed or governed by the governors. When we know their incapacitation, when we know they are not able, when we know they will not do it, when we know they will use it for other purposes. Honorable Speaker, in totality, when you say that you add the money, like Honorable Opium Wandai has said, you must show which place you are taking this money from. Who are you subtracting to add for the county revenue? Which person are you subtracting? And in this case, the main casualty will be the members of parliament. It will be the NGCDF. It will be the NGAF. Instead, we should actually be discussing on how we can add NGCDF money. We discuss on how we can be able to add NGAF, because at least we are able to see what NGCDF is doing, what NGAF is doing. Members of parliament seated on the opposite side, Honorable Speaker, are only playing populism politics. They know even from the counties they come from, it's nothing. I see Honorable Rene shouting, but in her county there is nothing. Roads are pathetic. I was there last weekend. The roads that are done by the governor Nyaribo in Nyamira is zero. He's doing nothing. I see Honorable Obadia complaining here, but you go to Bamachoge Borabu, the village roads that are supposed to be done by the county governments have not been done. They are pathetic. The ECD classes that they are supposed to build are not being built. We cannot add money to the counties. To whom much is given, much is expected.
Honorable members, do not raise your hands. Honorable Kibagendi, use your cards. Honorable Mayaka, you don't shout.
Yeah, use your cards.
I cannot see you on my screen. Stop shouting in the House.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As I wind up, Honorable Speaker, to whom much is given, much is expected. A lot has been given to the county governments, but we can hardly see. You will need a microscope to identify what governors do. But everything NGCDF does is in full glare of the eyes of everybody. Everything that the NGAF is doing is visible. But you'll need a microscope to see what governors are doing. You will see classes being built by NGCDF across the country. You will actually mark. But in the county government structure, you will actually need a microscope. The only development those guys are doing is walking in a convoy of 20 vehicles, moving around funerals, one vehicle carrying a chair, another vehicle carrying carpets, another vehicle carrying goons, another vehicle carrying microphones, another vehicle carrying a girlfriend, and then they go there, they disrupt functions in barrios, carrying themselves in high titles, and then you are discussing on how to add the money here. Governors should be subtracted money, not being added. And that subtraction should come to NGCDF and NGAF. And for that reason, Honorable Speaker, we reject the proposal by the Senate on the Division of Revenue Bill. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Okay, honorable members, I will then give the member for Migori, Honorable Fatuma.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to support this because I come from Migori County. I also have a governor called Ochilo Ayako who is working. Honorable Osoro, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, Honorable Osoro has a personal problem with Simbarati. I can give you guidelines on fighting him, but saying that county's money was going to kindly be a man. Stop being a woman in a market. Honorable Osoro is interfering with me. Honorable Osoro, I can tell you 100 times that you are shouting and your misbehavior cannot remove Simbarati from his position. He is the governor, and please give Simbarati time to work. All you do is fight and plan to kill him. That will not remove him from the seat. Madam Speaker, there's too much noise, I can't contribute. Madam Speaker.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, I support this.
Madam Chair,
You are not on microphone. Order, members. Order, members. Point of order is not done by shouting. Honorable member for Madeira, it is not shouting. You put your card and put intervention. Honorable Bowen, what is out of order?
thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, the debate before us, Madam Chair, is about division of revenue bill. But it is not about, I had the honorable member for Migori. It's not about Simbarati and Osoro.
Osoro specified.
Madam Speaker, I was just asking if the member is in order to discuss people who are not in this house and also to stick to the relevance of the debate in the house. Who is killing who? And who is killing who, Madam Chair? Because she made some unsubstantiated claims of killings. I think, Madam, the Honorable Chair of Migori is completely out of order.
Honorable Fatuma. Honorable Fatuma. Did you make unsubstantiated?
No, I didn't. No, Madam Speaker.
Order, members.
Madam
I am
Speaker,
addressing
it's me to
Honorable
answer.
Fatuma.
Yes, Madam Speaker. I did not make such statement, but he was shouting back, and he was shouting about Simbarati, so I answered him back. I only said what he said in my own words, in my voice. But he knows what I'm talking about, Madam Speaker. Kindly allow me to contribute. Madam Speaker, I think the other side is blackmailing the other MPs. I don't see anywhere where the senator said that the money will be taken from NCDF or NGAF. So let us be honest. You have cheated Kenyans enough times, and we can't continue cheating Kenyans.
Honorable,
when it comes to this,
member for Migori, stick to the relevant topic. But
I am very relevant, Madam Speaker.
Members on my right also maintain decorum. Honorable Fatuma, continue.
Madam Speaker, I'm very relevant because I listened to the two speakers from the other side, what they said. And they said that NGAF is working well, NCDF is working well. My point is this. I agree 100% that NCDF is working well and NGAF, but I don't see anywhere in that bill where they have stated that money will be taken from this other kitty. So the Kenyans are watching. Let us be honest with Kenyans. We can't continue blackmailing Kenyans anymore. Counties need more money. We have seen many things that were not in other counties. Madam Speaker, I would like to bring to this House that not everybody voted for this government. And we are known that a government that you never voted for always do not give you development. It is only the county government that comes to our rescue, especially the minority. So we cannot blackmail here and talk of NCDF. Look at Honorable Osoro. When I talk of those statements like killing because of his behavior, he behaved so badly. Like a first timer who never even went to school. We went to school, let us behave like people went to school. Arati will win whether you like it or not. Madam Speaker,
Order. Honorable members, we do not make aspersions to one another in this house. Honorable members, as I had promised, we will do 2 on my right side and 2 on the minority side. Then I will put the question. Order, members. I therefore put the question